Hello, hello. Whew. Yes, it's me. I am the Doula Darcy. I worked in advertising and marketing for 10 years. I have a lot of experience with advertising and marketing. Then I had my babies. Then I became a postpartum doula in 2010. And now I combine all that as a doula business coach and doula marketing strategist for doulas. And my goal is to help you all get more clients so that more families can experience the life-changing thing that doula support is. And what I find is that marketing is often the missing link. You're not getting doula clients because they don't know you exist. And a huge piece of that is your website. So that is what we're going to tackle today. If you have a doula website that is attracting in new clients to you and your doula services, then you don't have to do it. You don't have to post on social media 5 times a week because your website is doing a lot of work for you in terms of bringing people to you. You can be at a birth and come home to 2 new inquiries. Oh, yay, Molly, I'm glad you found me. It's been a whirlwind. I want to help you get a website that works for you. And here's the thing. I do a website audit for every single person that joins my doula village and wants one. And I was hoping to do a few today on here, and we'll deal with that later. But that's just one of the many bonuses of being in my doula village. You get my personalized suggestions and tips about your existing website, and then all the video trainings on SEO and all the things for making your website better. So between doing the website audits for my doula village, between my one-on-one coaching clients, and just all the work that I have been doing with doulas over the past 4 to 5 years, I have looked at a lot of doula websites, and I see 3 to 5 very common mistakes over and over again. And don't feel bad. I don't want this to sound mean because you're doulas, right? You've never made a website before maybe, and you don't know good marketing principles and all that. So I'm going to share these common mistakes and how you can fix them today. So the first one that I see all the time, and I am saying all the time, so don't feel bad if you look at your own website and find out that you are doing this. Here's the other thing. We work so hard on our websites, right? If we're making them ourselves, or even we're paying a lot of money to someone else to make it for us, and we are so involved with our design, the writing, I'm gonna sneeze, excuse me, choosing the pictures and what do I write in my bio and all that things that we forget. Like sometimes it's so helpful, all the time. It is so helpful to have fresh eyes on it to catch typos, but also to catch these 3 things. So don't be mad at yourself if you look at your own website and you have made some of these mistakes. Love it, Betsy. She has built so much of her website from scratch and she wants it to be the best. Yes, that's the best thing, the coolest thing about a website. Have made it yourself, or if you know how to edit it, if you have control over it, and this is a whole side topic, but if you have control over your website, you can change it every day. You can go in and constantly be evolving it, whether it's the way you have things written, whether it's you want to make changes based on what I tell you today, whether it's you want to raise your rates or add a new service or a new package or whatever. I know everybody's, but it's so hard and I'm not technical. It's, if you can put in, as the website doula said to me, Sarah, back in 2010 when I was starting my doula business, and I just said to her, I'm like, can I just pay you to make my website? And she said, it really is going to serve you well if you learn how to do this. And I was like, I don't need to know how to do this. I just need to have a website and get out there and start working. But I did learn how to make my own website. And my first website was very simple, but it did what I needed it to do. And now I tell her that story all the time because I'm so incredibly grateful that I learned how to make a website, because I have updated my website so many times. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I went through this whole stage of hosting mom and baby expos all over New England. So I had to make a website for each of those. I've made so many websites now, and now with starting Doula Darcy, I made that website. And like Sarah here, I go in, I change something. I'm not, maybe not every day, but every week. I'm always updating something. So if you can learn how to do it, and as Jennifer's just saying, the doula website templates, I will get to the topic that I promised to talk about. The doula website templates that I had my team create is like a template. You don't have to build the whole thing, but you learn with quick little videos how to make it your own and how to have control over it and update it, which is huge. And one of the things I really love about it, because how many doulas have I talked to that paid someone a lot of money to make them a website because they didn't want to do it, and then that guy left town and they can't find them and they can't change anything on the website. I don't know if you're talking to Sarah or me. My website is thedoulardarcy.com, Betsy. First mistake I see all the time is that I go to a doula's website and I have to scroll. Yes, Angie, this is being recorded. I have to scroll for a long time before I can figure out where in the world they are located. And let me tell you, this is bananas, because it needs to be, if someone is pregnant and they want a doula, they need to know if you live nearby them. And guess who else needs to know that? Google. Google needs to know where you're located so that they can show your website in searches that the pregnant people in your town are searching. But I can't tell you, it's 7 out of 10 doula websites I see, it's 3 pages deep before I can figure out what city they are located in. And even if I see a lot, and I say this sometimes to doulas, and they're like, well, it's at the bottom. And no, do you know? So here's another thing. Go look at your website, take 10 deep breaths and look at your website with fresh eyes and pretend you are someone in your town who's pregnant for the first time. What are they going to see? And so Sarah's saying, what if you only offer virtual services? Then you do not need to have your location. But if you are a doula who's trying to get clients in your town, you do need to have your location. If you're offering virtual services, then that doesn't matter. Okay, so you want your location up high on the first page and then weaved in throughout and on every page of your website. Because that's another thing. You never know when someone's doing a Google search, if they're going to land on your homepage, or maybe they're going to land on this other services page over here about your birth photography. Maybe that's what they were Googling. So when they get to that page of your services, they need to know if you're a birth photographer in their area. So, right, Jennifer's saying people do Google doula near me. That is why Google needs to know where your website is, and that is why you have to have it prominently featured on your website. So go check that and after this call and add it in as soon as you can. And then you can book a one-on-one strategy session with me. You can join my Doula Village for more in-depth tips on like where and how, but I don't want to get into all that nitty-gritty SEO details right now. So the other mistake I see doulas make a lot, and anybody, honestly, this isn't even specific to doulas, is that your website is all about you. And I know you're probably thinking, but it is my website. It's about my services. But I see so many doula websites that are like, hi, doula in New York. I'm Darcy. I did this training. I love babies. I have 3 cats. I took this other training and I took this other training and I have loved babies my whole life. If every sentence on your website starts with I, that is a red flag that you're talking too much about yourself. All that can go over on your about page. It all is relevant, but that's not what you lead with. You have, I don't know, 2-3 seconds to capture a potential client's interest before they just scroll away. So you need to lead with how you're going to help them and then get them interested, get them reading. And then once they're interested, they will and want to learn more about you. They'll click through to your about page to read about you, but don't lead with that. Kendall is asking, how important do you think is it to have an about page? I think it's super important. But again, it's not what you lead with. You have an about page that people can click through to find, because they're going to hire you to come to their birth. They're going to hire you. You're going to see them naked. You're going to come into their home in the days after they have a baby. Like, they want to read about you. They just don't want to do it in the first 2 seconds while they're just scrolling on their couch wondering about doulas. So lead with how you can help. The other mistake that I see is if you're not leading with yourself, or you have an unclear headline at the top of your website. Because again, you have 2 to 3 seconds to grab someone's attention before they move on. So I see so many doula websites that say something like, supporting you through life's important transition. And then it's a picture of them and then their bio. And I don't know, I'm just scrolling around. Are you talking about divorce? Are you talking about when my kids move out and it's empty nesting? Are you talking about losing a child or a parent? Which life transition are you talking about? The other thing is, some people say, I'm trying to think of other, like supporting postpartum, supporting pregnancy and postpartum. Like what? You have to be clear. You have to say the word doula if that's what you do. You have to, I was looking at a doula website the other day and she was talking, it said supporting you postpartum to help. And you say these things that sound beautiful, but they're really vague, like supporting you through postpartum so that you feel supported and held and living your best life or something like that. And then she had some pictures of food and these like warm soups, and it made it look like she was like a nutritionist or a chef, and that's not at all her business. She was a postpartum doula that, yes, sometimes cooks, but just the way it was written and the way the pictures looked, it looked like she was some kind of postpartum chef. Okay, Mother's Peace. How do we schedule a website audit with you? You can join my Doula Village and you will get one. And it's only $67 to join my Doula Village for a month. And you get so much more. Our guest expert today was my financial planner, talking all about retirement and saving for the future. It was a very powerful session, so you get to watch that too and join our Facebook group. The other thing is you can book a strategy session with me, which let me get that link, and we can do a website audit. I can do a website audit for you in 5 minutes, and we can spend the rest of an hour of a strategy session talking about any aspect of your doula business. Okay, so you want to be clear. You want to just be like, I am a birth doula and I am going to support you during labor. And you can put all the flowery language further down. That can be a subheading, but go to your website and read through and pretend you have no idea who you are or what you do, and tell me, is it very clear what services you offer Is it very clear where you're located and who you help? And then is it very clear how you help? Talk about them, the clients that you help, and how you help them more at the beginning than you're talking about yourself. And this just happens because we, especially as new doulas, we're like proving ourselves, and we feel like, okay, this is my website, this is my chance to prove that I am, what it comes down to is prove that I am worthy of being a doula and being your doula. And here's my big long list of my resume. And half the time, Joe Schmo, pregnant woman, doesn't know half the words in your resume, but that's besides the point. Lead with how you help people, and that will draw people in. And then these are the things that make people stay on your website and then make people find your website. You want a website that people find when they're pregnant and scrolling around. Oh, thank you, Emily, for saying that my Doula Village is worth every dollar and then some. So the other thing is we usually tend to create our websites on our desktop or laptop. So that's how we're looking at them. But you have to remember 70% of people are going to look at your website on their phone. And you want your website to scroll. You don't want it to be 3 lines and then they have to go find the menu and click on what they want. Put as much information as you can on that home page so that people scroll down and don't have to go. Don't make people work so hard to hire you. Make it easy for them to contact you to set up a consultation. This is the 5th mistake. Not having a contact button, link to email, link to purchase, high up and frequently on the page. This is another thing. I have to scroll before I can find like how to contact you and before I find out where you're located. I've looked at a lot of websites where they're like, oh, I have this package, I have this package. On some things like, oh, and I sell this ebook, it's $20. Yes, I might buy that, but don't make me click through 3 pages before I can find the link to buy that, or before I can find the link to book a consult to learn more about your $2,000 package. If it's hard, if I have to click 3 times before I can figure out how I'm going to connect with you to take the next step, I'm probably going to not take that. I'm probably going to just scroll and see if I can find something else that's easier. You want to make it easy for people to contact you. And another way to think about this is you want to make it easy for these people to take the next step, whatever you want that to be. Do you want them to follow you on Instagram? Do you want them to send you an email? Do you want them to fill out your contact form? Do you want them to join your local mom Facebook group? It's called a call to action. Have calls to action weaved throughout your doula website often, so that you have, and what this does is gives you more of a chance to make a connection. Say you go into a website for the first time. Are you more likely to click here to follow them on it and you're interested? Are you more likely to click here to follow them on Instagram or click here to buy their $3,000 doula package? Hello, Instagram. Or click here to shoot me an email. Click here to shoot me a DM. Click here to shoot me a text. Click here to contact me. Click here to learn more. You want to get them interacting with you. Okay, Carol, great question. Can we just offer a contact me option in the menu? You can, but that means if I'm on my phone and I've scrolled to the bottom of your page, your website, with no way to contact you, You are making me do all the work of going up here, finding the weird little symbol on the mobile version of your website. That's the menu. This is the other thing. Like, it's two little lines. It doesn't even look like anything. Maybe to click on that. Then they have to click on that and then scroll down that menu to find the contact me button. Why not just put it there and put it at the bottom of that page and put it in the middle of that page? Like, just make it, I don't know why I keep showing you, make it easy for them to do that. Okay. So to review, number one mistake is that I can't find your location anywhere on your doula website. So go back and put that in. Oh, actually, and Betsy, before I get to review, Betsy had another question and I didn't read it. I have lots of organization in my header to make it clear where people can navigate to different pages for my areas of expertise. But do I need to have my different areas of expertise all on my home page? It depends. I would love to see your website, but I would put your main areas on your home page. You have a paragraph about your birth doula services. Click here to learn more. Below that, paragraph about birth photography. Click here to learn more. Below that, click here to join my local mom group. And then on your different pages, you go in. If you offer also breast milk jewelry, like that maybe doesn't necessarily need to be on your homepage. Okay. And Betsy also says, I have incorporated Calendly into the process of contacting me. Is that too much of a hard step for people to contact me? Yes and no. Calendly's awesome. And yes, you can do that. And Calendly is a software that you can use where people can be like, yeah, I want to talk to Betsy at 3 p.m. on Thursday, July 25th. And it sets that all up. That's great. It can be a problem if they look and you don't have any availability, and so then they just don't do anything. What I do personally, and actually I just covered this last week, I did a Facebook Live about client inquiry to interview, and I was talking about all these steps. What I do is my website's just contact me, email me, fill out this form. It's different in every place. Sometimes it's text me, email me, fill out this form, and then when they contact me, I'm like, hey, thanks for contacting me, a couple questions back and forth. Then I send them my Calendly link. I already have their email. I already have their phone number. I have a way to get in touch with them. It gives you a little bit, sounds weird to talk about it this way, but it gives you a little bit of power, a little bit control. When someone's just cruising your website and doesn't click any of your call to actions, doesn't follow you on Instagram, doesn't give you their email address, doesn't send you a text, you don't know who they were. And maybe they were your next best favorite client. But if you don't have their contact information, or if they're not now following you on Instagram or Facebook, like they might never show up again. That is my suggestion. And this is just me. You can all do whatever you want to do. It's your own doula business. Okay, so let's review these 5 mistakes. And again, if you want my eyes on your website, you can join my Doula Village. It's $67 a month. There is so much inside there that you get. We have guest experts. I have office hours twice a month. We have a private Facebook group. We have a video library of so many trainings, stuff like this. But then also, everybody who joins, I will give you a 5-minute website audit of your website. And I put the link in the comments. I also put a link. You can book a one-on-one 1-hour strategy session with me. We can do a website audit. We can cover all the strategy of all parts of your business. So the 5 mistakes. Your location is way too far down the page. Prospective clients, and more importantly, Google doesn't know where you are. This is the biggest thing. If Google doesn't know where you are, Google's not going to show your website to anyone. You're not going to have that magic of being at a birth and you're getting inquiries while you're busy over here. And again, in my Doula Village, we dive way deep into how to work with Google. Oh, here is another one. And actually, somebody that asked me to audit their website today on this call If you use one of those free website builders like Square, Wix, Canva, I think, those are great. And like I said, I started with a very simple GoDaddy website when I first started. And it met my need at the time. But Google, those websites, to keep it like super simple, the Google bots that are always scrolling to find ways to give their searching users good results, they can't scroll those free Square, Wix. So if your website is like douladarcy.square. I can't think of the other ones, like that, Google's not going to find it. So your best investment, I don't think you have to spend any money, honestly, on, you can grow a very successful doula business without spending any money on advertising or marketing. If you're going to, when you spend money, spend it on a website. And might I suggest my doula website templates, because they are the most affordable way to get a beautiful, functioning doula website that you have control over, that shows up in Google. Templates, I can't talk. Okay. Mistake number 2 is that your website is all about you. It's all like just proving who you are without first, again, that can go on your About Me page and further down, but first you have to draw the user in, attract them in by showing them how you can help them. Showing them how you can, you go search on Google because you have a problem. And your dream client's problem is that they are pregnant and they're scared. And you are going to help them. So your website should talk about how you help people and then who you are. So talk about them before you talk about you. And as I always say to the doulas in my doula village, no one cares. No one cares. No one cares about you. Kendall is asking, I built my website on GoDaddy, but I pay a monthly fee. Is that the same thing? I am not a bazillion % sure. That might be okay, but here's the best test. Text your best friend in your town and say, will you Google doula near me and tell me if my website shows up? That is, again, top of your to-do list. Have a few friends in your town, Google doula near me, and find out if you show up. And if you don't, get on that, because that is the most important thing you can do to get more clients. If your website is ranking high in Google searches, you don't have to pound the pavement so hard networking. You don't have to post on social media constantly, because your website is handing you leads. And the money you spend on a website that will do that for you pays for itself in a hot second. Okay, mistake number 3 is unclear, flowery, flowy headlines like supporting life's transitions, empowering women to be empowered. It sounds great, but I don't know what you do. I go to a lot of doula websites with titles and headlines like that, and I don't know, are you a fitness instructor? Are you a nutrition coach? Are you a therapist? Like, you have to just spell it out. I am a birth doula. I'm a postpartum doula. I help moms in the first 12 weeks in New York after they have a baby. Boom. And then you get into that, and I empower them, and then you get into that part of showcasing how you help. Mistake number 4 is not paying attention to the mobile version of your website. That's another thing. Ask your friends, you go yourself, look at your website on your phone and navigate it as though you are Joe Schmo pregnant lady, and see if it's clunky, hard, or is it super easy. And so that's the 5th tip, is don't make your peeps work so hard. Have lots of ways for them to contact you. Have lots of ways for them to find out about your services. Have lots of ways that it's very easy for them to take the next step with you, to have a conversation with you about your doula services. And maybe that's not even an actual conversation. Maybe it's that they follow you on Instagram. Maybe it's that I'm laughing at Emily. Squarespace will let you edit the mobile versus the desktop, and it's pretty easy. Even I can do it. Yes, I have Squarespace. I love it. Awesome. Beata is going to join my Doula Village today. Make it easy for potential clients to have a conversation with you. And again, it might not be like a phone conversation or text. If it is, awesome. But it could be that they join your email list, that they click and send you an email, that they follow you on Instagram, that they follow you on Facebook, that they do that today on your website. Tomorrow they see your post about how you love chickens or how you're an awesome doula. That is another thing you should get, by the way, in my Doula Village. You get a monthly social media prompt calendar. I give you on the first day of the month, and if you join today, you'll get July's if you want, an idea of what to post every day on social media if you want to be doing that. Okay, so that is the 5 mistakes. So Cindy said, would you do a Zoom to show website audits? What I do for everyone in my Doula Village is I go on Loom, which is another platform, but Loom is like my little face in the corner, and you can see on the screen the website I'm auditing, and I just go through each page and change this to this, add this here, move this, make sure this, and I do 5 minutes of going through each page of your website, and then I post it in the Facebook group because there's so much to learn. Even by me auditing Molly's website, Emily has something to learn from that. We all have something to learn. So they're posted it in the Facebook group. You can go watch them if you want. It's literally 3 to 5 minutes. If you don't have a website yet, or you have one and you're realizing it's not working for you, and like I said, this is the easiest test. Text your 3 best friends that live in your town, or your mom, or whatever. My poor mom. I'm always making her do stuff. Ask them to go on Google and type in doula near me while they are physically in your town, or doula in New York, whatever, say your town, and have them screenshot the top 5 results and see if you are there. If you are not there, tomorrow morning or right after this call, like, this is your top priority. I'm telling you, the time and energy and money that you put in will pay for itself 100-fold over the next few years. So my doula business, my postpartum doula agency, I made that website, I don't know, 7 years ago, and I get 3 to 5 inquiries a week. And I don't post on social media. I've been in business now for 14 years, so I have a lot of word of mouth, but I ask everybody who inquires, because it's on my intake form, how did you hear about me? And they all say Google. So Google's my best friend. It should be your best friend too. It's going to make Google be your first employee, and make Google deliver you client leads. That's what I'm going to leave you with today. And yes, showing up on Google My Business is super important, and getting verified on Google is super important. And again, I got a training on that in my Doula Village. And thanks for showing up. Thanks for asking really great questions. I hope you will all join my Doula Village. Those of you who aren't already in there, I hope that if you need a new website, you'll use my doula website templates, because it's $297. You got a beautiful website that you are in control of. You can go in and make changes, and you have the video lessons from me and McKenna, my designer, to help you help Google find your website and all that. Okay, Beata I hope I'm saying your name right. You said you're going to join my Doula Village. If Instagram, Facebook, advertising on Google is not working, I'm glad you're joining my Doula Village, because we will fix all that. So can't wait. Have a great day, everybody, and let me know if you have any other questions. Bye.